Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the Panhandle of North Idaho. These are stories and adventures. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And today we're just going to be doing a little of this, a little of that. I've got to get my side of the chicken coop completely gutted out. The floor kind of scrubbed down because I want to restain it, and we have gotten the shade cloth on the greenhouse, and we do have a strip that's extra that I'm going to be attaching to the one end of the hoop house. Show you that, and let's work on getting this chicken coop cleaned out. So this is kind of the overwinter mess that's in here. The floor is just covered with shavings, looking very dirty, and mouse poo and dust everywhere, just a collection of junk that needs to get cleaned up. So gonna go through, pull all the feed cans out, the shelf out, get everything dusted down, and get the floor swept off and put a new layer of stain on it so we can reconstruct it and have a clean space for a little bit. Guys, it's not true. So I was able to go through, get most of the stuff up off the floor, got it vacuumed down. Now I'm going to go through and paint it. And then we got to clean this stuff up that's out here, go through what's trash in the trash. Let this floor dry, and while it's doing that, we'll put the shade cover on the hoop house. But let's get this layer of stain on this floor. So I figured while that floor is drying, we can get the shade cloth on the hoop house. We have this small section that's normally, here, let me show you. As you see, not really good angle, but the shade cloth is on the greenhouse. In the last couple years, we have been putting a small chunk on this part here, but this vegetation has grown up enough that it shades it, so I'm going to use it over here. There's my little chunk, so let me get the camera set up and I'll explain what I'm going to do. So it's roughly about 11 feet. I actually think I'm going to drape it over the hoop house before I start to anchor it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill my holes for these eye bolts and then run 550 cord from these to, or from the shade fabric to these guys to hold it secure so the wind doesn't blow it. I have 4 for each side, so let's see if I can get this cover up here by myself and get these guys attached with the 550 cord. And I figure the most interesting area will be where the asparagus is. Like I said, the asparagus area. So I think what I'm going to do is get the 2 front ones put in and tied down, so that way I'm not fighting myself going back and forth. And I'm going to use this screwdriver to help twist these eye bolts in. Okay, now I'm going to go grab some 550 cord and we'll be right back. Okay, so I could get grommets and grommet it, but David John said this stuff is going to be tough enough that all I got to do is roll it a little bit and tie the 550 cord onto it. So that's what I'm going to do. Do a little roll. And I'm not going to scare this down completely snug until I've got all the pieces on, so I'm just going to cut a chunk for over here so we can kind of get it semi-straight, even though I do want a little more on this side than that side, just because this is the hot evening sun on this side. Let's go over and get this other side done. Okay, so that gets that installed. So let's see if we can get the stuff pulled down. I'm not sure where. Move you guys kind of over here in the shade. That actually wasn't too bad, so I'm gonna go through and get the bolts attached on the far side, then we'll come and tackle this side. And because I think 4 of them is going to be a little bit of overkill, I'm just going to do them 6 feet apart, because from there to there is about the 12-foot mark. So that gets the greenhouse fabric tied down. Let's go in and remove some of the landscape fabric in this area. And the brassicas did all bolt, and I did pull them out the other day. I was able to get a little cauliflower, couple broccoli florets, but that was about it. Now let's get this landscape fabric removed so we can see the difference in the light. Definitely will let a lot more natural light, and I don't know, we'll see. That's what this stuff is. It's supposed to be shade. I think it's only like a 50% shade, but I am going to be bringing the peppers out. So let's get some more of this removed. Actually should get scissors and cut to where I want to stop and then remove this. That definitely makes a difference, but I'm going to show you how hot it gets up here. It's quite literally frying the tops of the peas. So like I said, it does let a lot more light in, and we will be moving the peppers out here. We got some more soil to amend these beds, pull out the cauliflower or all the brassica roots and amend these, and then we'll be getting the peppers planted out. Even though the overnight temps aren't in the 60s, and it doesn't look like they're going to reach the 60s in any foreseeable future, but I want to get them out of the seed shed and get them planted so they can start pumping out some peppers for us. So I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, go out and get that mess kind of organized up a little bit more. Probably won't put everything back in until tomorrow, because I think I'm going to do a second coat of that stain, because it is a waterproofer on the floor. So back with you guys in a couple minutes. Well guys, we got it all painted and put back together. I did put it back together slightly different. I'm going to have my pellets over in these two black buckets, and then these other four, the green one and the two black ones, are going to be crumble, and then the two little ones will have scratch. But the floor looks good. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me while we did a couple chores. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.